You were kind of thrown in last year because of injuries. How do you feel like you accepted that challenge? And how do you feel like that experience can help you this year?
Yeah, last year it kind of hit me by surprise when I was going in and what position I was going in at. It was a little different for me. I adapted to it. First time ever playing defense in a game as well was that start last year. And it didn't go the exact way that I wanted it to, but that's okay. I know my mistakes. I learned from them, and I worked on them to improve.
What was that feeling like going in and playing on a side of the ball? How unfamiliar was that for you?
It wasn't really unfamiliar. I mean, being here for such a long time, it's just kind of a thing that we do. We know every part of the defense. I'd say it was more of my emotions that got to me. Just waiting for so long, playing on special teams for as long as I have, and finally getting that opportunity. I just wanted everything that I could, and my emotions just were off the charts then. So.
Obviously, one of the big focuses has been tackling. Certainly, you guys went live. How do you feel like tackling went for you and the linebackers yesterday?
Very, very well. I mean, Coach Cato hits on it every day. Even in the summer without Coach Cato, we were tackling every single day we could. We knew that it was an issue last year, and we were going to fix it. That's the end of the line. We can't let up games because we can't tackle in the second half or something like that. We're gonna find the problem and fix it. So.
Had an off day this morning.
Yeah.
Was that kind of nice? Maybe a little bit different?
It's a lot. The schedule's a little different. The schedule's a little weird. It's very relaxing this morning. Getting to meetings, getting to lift in, feel real good. But we just like I said earlier, we adapt to adversity and we just figure out what to do next. So.
Appreciate it.
Thank
sir.
you guys.
You're another guy that got an opportunity last year that maybe you weren't expecting. How did you make sure that you were ready to get your chance in the linebacking corps?
Well, I mean, I've been here this would be my 6th year, so I already had all the experience behind, maybe not the game experience, but just all the mental and physical reps and practice geared me to be ready for game time.
What's it like to be one of the very, very last 6-year guys finally as they kind of get filtered out of the system?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I probably can't do another year of this. I'm happy it's coming to an end, but I'm ready for the last season.
And then finally, as you guys have had to make an adjustment today, obviously with the weather, this can have real-world applications. Obviously, you guys remember from last year in Northwest Missouri that this exact thing happened where you had a delay in the game. How do you keep yourself mentally ready to go?
Yeah, just always being ready. I mean, stuff can happen. You just got to be deal with adversity and hit head on. I mean, we're going to go out there and get better today just like it's a regular practice day. So.
He stole my question about the weather. So thanks,
Sure.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Obviously, last year was frustrating trying to just stay healthy. How did you kind of mentally process last year and just seem like it was just one thing after the other?
I mean, yeah, it's things you can't control, right? You just kind of got to deal with it. I think my role kind of changed into more of a leadership role and helping, guys that maybe didn't have that game experience, helping them get ready and just, different things I could see on the sideline during the games when I was hurt and just communicating, kind of just changed roles.
And obviously a pretty big knee brace for you this year so far. How do you feel? How healthy do you feel? And do you think you'll be ready for week 1?
Yeah. Obviously another unfortunate deal happens. That's part of football though. But yeah, feeling healthy. I'll be ready to go.
So you kind of like Chris Jones, you could have like a day now because you got experience here. So like, give me a little day off from this, let it heal up a little bit, and I go watch everything else.
Yeah, kinda. It's not really that I want to take the day off. Sometimes you just got to be smart about those kind of things. Just kind of the uncontrollables. But it is what it is. Power through it.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
What does it mean to you to be voted a captain on this year's team?
It means everything because it just reflects how the guys feel about you. Because the coaches, they have some input, but it's based off the votes for the guys. So just seeing how highly they think of me and how they look up to me and just look at me as a leader, that means a lot.
I know that Coach Laporto said that you were one of the guys that he really felt progressed a lot through last season, a guy that came in at a level, and then by the end of the year you were playing at a totally different level. What allowed you to improve week to week, and how do you hope to replicate that improvement week to week this year?
I think the main thing is just like trusting my coaching, like, and just falling back on the details. Like we always talk about 3A's, assignment, alignment, attitude, and just falling back on the small things and just not trying to get out of body and just trying to progress at what I'm good at and just what works.
What's it like working with Coach Harelson at your position?
He's done it before, like especially at Sam, so it's fun. I know I can trust him because I know he's been there before, and I know that he saw the same things that I'm seeing. So it's easy for us to translate and just easier for us to work together.
When you guys started last year, it was first game. I think it was 3 guys that never started a game. It was a linebacker. You guys got a lot more experience now coming in. How do you think that helps out you guys?
Oh, I think it helps a lot because in game in the MIAA, it's very different than practice. I mean, we're going against the best offense, but it's different because they're on scholarship too over there. So it's hard, but I feel like we're going to be a little bit better this year because we do have the experience and we have the guys to do so.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Well, this year, a lot of experience back at linebacker. Obviously, losing a guy like Chance is going to be difficult with what he brought to the program, not just on the field but intangibles. But what do you feel about the group and the guys that you have coming back?
Yeah, so like the guys you just talked to, you don't replace guys like Chance Rodriguez. He'll always have a place here. But what going into this season is a little bit different when it comes to those guys all played. And then I think they're smart guys. They came into this offseason realizing it's their time. They're the old guys now. They're not. They do have experience. So really, it's on those guys to go put it the work they did in, and really just push it forward day by day, attacking the details. And then, we got some young, talented guys. I think these older guys with the experience have done a great job of showing what it takes. So I'm looking forward to see all the work they put into it because it's a credit to those guys.
Last year your depth at that position with all the injuries was really challenged, but you were able to find guys like Chance, you find guys like Lavon and Sierpeda. With them coming back, and then obviously Declan Haub 2 years ago had a really great season.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your depth is at linebacker this year?
Really good. Just because, I always say, your character, what you're made of, is your response to adversity. Can't stop adversity. And I feel like we really ran into that last year. A lot of different things, and guys did step up. So, when it comes to how that all meshes together, I'm excited to see what that is. Caleb Mondy is another guy. I know you didn't mention Mondy, but he's been great on special teams for us. And Coach Higgins always says, be a superstar in your role. How can the linebacker unit become one unit? And really we just utilize everyone's talents for the defense in this team.
How did you guys, as coaching staff, adjust to the weather today?
Oh, I'm sure you could tell that was probably fun for all of us assistant coaches. But no, it was, it's just what we do here at Emporia State. I respond to adversity, and, it ain't going to change our work ethic today. So.
Do you think that kind of helps you? You guys talked about was being able to adjust to adversity. Having something kind of you didn't plan on, does that kind of help you guys with that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, whether we practice in the morning or we practice it this afternoon, we're still going to get the work in, and, that doesn't change our approach to anything. And Coach Higgins has been doing this a long time. Coach Lopo has been doing this a long time. Coach Cash, all those older coaches, is, they do a great job just kind of leading the way for everybody, and everybody's all on the same page, and communication's key from not just our players, but, also us coaches. And so we're all on the same page, and we'll move forward, and we'll have a great day.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Well, there's a lot of water out there today. Talk us through the process when you decide that Mother Nature can't be overcome and practice has got to move.
Yeah, it's kind of like making halftime adjustment, so we just had to make a decision, go with it. You can't ever, trying to guess exactly what the weather's going to do is difficult. So we saw, this morning when everybody woke up, of course, we had the storms and it was raining, and so we just had to make an adjustment. My thing is we all know football is an outdoor sport. You got to deal with the elements, and believe me, you got to go out and do wet ball drill at some point. But my thing is, it's still early in camp. We need to make sure we get quality work done and not just out there, sliding around and having a wet ball and things like that. So we decided to adjust, and we did our afternoon schedule, which we usually lift and have meetings. We did that this morning, and then we'll bring him back this afternoon and have a practice.
Well, in terms of that and where you are in practice right now, offensively, I asked Coach Laporto. He said he probably has about 2/3 of what he wants to get in. Where do you feel like you are in terms of installing your offense?
Yeah, I think for us it's really just getting some of our situational things in. I mean, a lot of the things we do offensively you can have, you can utilize in red zone and inside the 10, but then there's also some things we need to put in still situationally. But I feel good about where we're at offensively. The thing with our offense is we can kind of always say we can Lego. It's like putting Legos together. You can Lego things together once you have the base offense installed. So we got after tomorrow, we'll have really the base, everything installed, and then you really can just work on the situational aspect of install.
I feel like linebacker is a position that's pretty similar to defensive line, where you have one guy, a Chance Rodriguez, that has so much experience that's not back, but you do have a bunch of other guys like Lavon and Sierpeda that are coming back this year. What are your thoughts about your 2024 linebackers?
Yeah, I feel good about them. I mean, especially when you look at, start with Lavon first. At the beginning of the year last year, he wasn't starting, but he was playing, and he worked himself into a starter, and now he's worked himself into a captain. So he ended up finishing the year, on a high note. And then, Sage has been a player that epitomizes everything we talk about earning everything here. Was basically a walk-on that earned money and, has found a role on this football team. And, Sage started for us last year against Northwest Missouri and, stepped in and did a great job. Unfortunately, we've had some – Declan Haub has had an injury, and he's doing everything he can to get back. And when you have injuries like that, especially to some key players, it's good to have depth. So it gives those guys, like you said, an opportunity to play and show what they can do. And then we got some young guys. Marte Russell, I think, has had a really good camp. We brought in a transfer player too at linebacker, and for those guys trying to find a spot for them, like our will linebacker, it's a little bit. It's not as you still got to know the defense, but like you can do a little bit more just running and tackling, So I think that's another thing, coaches. We got to do a good job, and we do as far as finding where to put our personnel and be able to take advantage of their strengths.
Talk us through a little bit making the adjustments this morning. Have to go.
Well, so what we did, we had a team. We always have a team meeting at night, and last night after the team meeting, we had a staff. We always have a staff meeting, so we just kind of prepared. We had a plan A and a plan B. Plan A was if the weathermen were wrong, then we would get up and practice. If the weathermen were right, then we better adjust. So our adjustment was we would lift them, do what we did today. So really just come in this morning, and of course the flooding so it was an easy decision. I think guys even kind of knew what we were going to. Now, we didn't tell the players, so we had to get the schedule up on the TV. So when they would come in about 7:25, 7:30, get ready for practice, they were able to see what we were going to do. And then we had ready room, and I just kind of talked them through like, hey, we're going to have to make an adjustment. And, we need to do the things we're going to go in and lift. We're going to lift the right way, even though we're doing it in the morning instead of the afternoon, So football players, coaches, we're all creatures of habit. Sometimes when you change that habit, things can go haywire, Well, I thought our guys did a really good job this morning. Now we got to practice. Let's see how they adjust to having a practice in the afternoon. All right, guys. You bet.